Welcome back, class. Now we want to talk in this lesson about invasions in the Western Roman Empire. And basically what we're going to be dealing with here is the decline and collapse of the Western Roman Empire. We begin with the demise of imperial solidarity. In the late 4th century, there was a permanent political division between East and West, with emperors chosen for each respectively. Around 410, that is the early 5th century, the Vandal leader Alaric sacked Rome. The last Western emperor was Romulus Augustus, whose reign ended in 476, while Simplicius was bishop of Rome. After this, the bishops of Rome were servants of Arian Christian Germanic kings. Arianism had spread. As Arians were expelled from the empire, many of them went north into the Germanic tribes and carried an Arian form of Christianity to the Germanic nations, Germanic peoples. And so Germanic kings who were Arian Christians held power over the Bishop of Rome. Throughout the 4th and 5th centuries, various Germanic tribes migrating from the steppes of the Ural Mountains attacked the northern borders of the empire. The Hun, originating in Central Asia, moved into Central Europe, modern-day Hungary. The Angles and Jutes combined with Saxons to invade the Roman province of Britain. The Franks invaded northern Gaul. Vandals invaded southern Gaul, Italy, Spain, and crossing the Straits of Gibraltar, invaded North Africa, reaching Carthage by 430. The Ostrogoths, the Eastern Goths, struck the northern borders of the Eastern Empire, making it impossible for the East to come to the aid of the West. Germanic tribes had been evangelized by exiled Arian Christians and held to an Arian form of Christianity, where they did not retain belief in the old Teutonic gods or practice Druidism. So this all sets the stage for the rise of papal political power in the West. Rome was the only apostolic see in the West, wielding ecclesiastical power over all the churches in the West. Rome was the imperial city of the West, and so by reputation it possessed great political power. In the Christological controversies of the 4th and 5th centuries, Rome represented the entire Western Church. Rome functioned as a central point of power and defense of orthodoxy against the Arian Germanic invaders. Roman pontiffs called synods, wrote letters advising and then later commanding patterns of worship and belief, and conferred episcopal offices throughout Europe. Specific popes helped to advance papal power. Damasus subjected Illyrium to Roman jurisdiction and made the Vulgate the official text of the West. Siricius wrote the first truly decretal letter. Innocent I said no doctrinal matter should be settled without first conferring with the Bishop of Rome. Rome here is viewed as the see of Peter, the prince of the apostles. Leo the Great, also known as Leo I, is the first true pope in the modern sense of the word. He is the greatest theologian to be pope until Gregory I. There are certain advantages that attended his lifetime. The East was doctrinally divided. The West was presided over by a weak emperor. North Africa was under siege. No other great theological mind existed to challenge him. And a new day was dawning on the world. With only 2 companions, he met with Attila the Hun and prevented him from sacking Rome in 452. And in 455, he prevented Genseric from burning the city. Gregory I, also called Gregory the Great, was another contributing pope. He was not regarded with significance in his own lifetime, but his influence grew after his death. Gregory ruled from 590 to 604 and made evangelizing the Anglo-Saxon peoples a top priority, along with enforcing the Roman liturgy on Christian churches throughout the West. The period from 604 to 617 marks a time of lesser popes, often appointed by the Eastern Emperor for political reasons. Of note are the following. Sabinianus, 604, was known for being harsh and greedy. Boniface III, from 606 to 607, assumed the title Universal Bishop, claiming authority over all the other bishops and patriarchs in the church. Boniface IV converted the Roman pantheon to a church dedicated to Mary in 608. Honorius I, 625 to 638, was condemned by an ecumenical council, and his successor also as a heretic in the Monothelite controversy. Martin I, from 649 to 55, endured persecution for supporting the doctrine of two wills in Christ. And under Gregory II and Gregory III, the Germanic tribes were successfully evangelized. 615 to 641, Gregory II ruled till 731 and engaged in debate with Emperor Leo III over icons and looked to Charles Martel, that is the Hammer, the Frankish leader, for deliverance from the rule of a heretical Arian king. Gregory III, who ruled from 731 to 741, also looked to Charles for deliverance from the Lombards and declared his independence from Constantinople. Charles Martel died on October 21st, 741, and Gregory died on November 27th, 741. From 741 to 755, Zacharias ruled from 741 to 752. He was of Greek origin. He brought the Lombards under submission to Rome, relieving Italy from conquest. When another Lombard king threatened Rome, Zacharias appealed to Pepin the Short in exchange for helping him gain the Frankish crown. This marked the first step toward a renewed Western Empire and brought an end to the Merovingian dynasty. Pepin was granted the title Patrician of Rome. I want to say just a quick word about Pepin the Short. When I was an undergraduate student studying German, I read about Pepin the Short, and my German professor described him as a walking Vegemite. He was a short man, about this tall, who wielded a double-handed broadsword, and he simply waded through men, hacking and slaying his way as he went. He was quite a formidable fighter. We'll hear later about one of his descendants, Charlemagne. Stephen III became Pope in March 752. He called on Pepin's aid again when the Lombards threatened Rome, thus establishing a permanent connection between the papacy and the family of Pepin that would lead to the rebirth of the Western Empire under Pepin's son, Charles the Great, also known as Charlemagne. We'll take up the revival of empire in the next lecture.